Hey guys, I'm Greg, and today I'm going to review a little card game called Elder Scrolls Legends. So Elder Scrolls Legends is Bethesda's take on a digital card game, and it fares pretty well. Now before I even start this review, I have to address one big issue. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. Hearthstone. It's the CCG every card game gets compared to, whether it came before Hearthstone or after Hearthstone. Hearth. Now the game is different enough to separate it from Blizzard's CCG. The biggest difference is that your deck consists of 50 cards minimum, but can go up to 70 if you please. You're also allowed to have up to 3 copies of the same card in your deck. Next is the lanes. You can hold up to 8 creatures on the board at once, but the board is separated into 2 lanes, left and right. However, the creatures summoned in the right lane gain cover. This means they cannot be directly attacked by another creature for 1 turn. However, you can still affect them with action cards that deal direct damage. Your resource in this game is in the form of magicka, and it doesn't cap at 10, but 12. The card game also varies in terms of deck building. There are 5 types of cards: agility, endurance, intelligence, strength, and willpower. Each deck you create can only have 2 types of these attributes. It makes for interesting deck compositions, as each attribute plays differently. Agility is beasts that one-shot others thanks to lethal, which is Elder Scrolls' version of poison. Intelligence has a lot of damaging spells, and so on. Gone are avatar powers. You won't find them in Elder Scrolls Legends. Instead, you're defined on your playstyle based on the 2 attributes you put into your deck. There's also this rune mechanic that allows you to draw a card every time you take more than 5 damage. If you pull a card with the name Prophecy in it during this time, you can play the card for free. It's an interesting comeback mechanic I've yet to see in a card game. Game rounds can last anywhere from 3 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on the skill of your opponent, the skill of yourself, and whether or not they concede early. Now comes the part where I talk about the good and the bad.
It's high noon.
Again, like to talk about the bad stuff first and get it out of the way so we can end the videos on a positive note. The bad. Just starting out is hard. Like most CCG card games, the game gives you pre-made decks to work with, and while be it some of them are okay, you're most likely going to get worked over online. This is mainly due to the fact that you're lacking core cards you need to play competitively. It's a standard thing in most CCGs. I mean, you really don't start off that powerful when you first start playing it either. And even though it's minor, I feel like I should mention it. The game isn't that flashy. Compared to the big elephant in the room, Hearthstone, the art style of Elder Scrolls Legends isn't bright or colorful, mainly due to its realistic art design. Again, minor, but probably worth mentioning. Number 3 is microtransactions are a bit high. It's $2.99 for a pack of 2 cards. Making it on par with Hearthstone, so it's not cheaper, which is kind of a bummer. You'd think if they wanted to compete with such a huge competitor, their decks should be priced just a little bit cheaper than what Hearthstone charges. Enchanting still sucks. Soul trapping and soul summoning is how you create cards. It's a resource they give you in the form of soul shards, which is Elder Scrolls' version of enchanting. However, the resources you get from this is far too little, and the cost of summoning cards, even basic ones, is far too great. An option to buy soul shards would be nice, but then the player would have too much control over what cards he or she gets and would eliminate the need for buying packs. So I get it, but the enchanting system still isn't very balanced. Now let's talk about the good. The game is different enough not to feel like Hearthstone. The amount of cards, decks, and gameplay allow the game to stand on its own. It's Elder Scrolls lore at its finest. While someone like myself has only played Elder Scrolls Online, Oblivion, and Skyrim, the amount of lore in this game can be dated back all the way to the very first Elder Scrolls title. If you're a fan of Elder Scrolls lore in general, you will not be disappointed with this game. Third, the voice work. The voice work is good in Hearthstone, but Jim Cummings is in this game.
Soldiers, report!
If you guys don't know who Jim Cummings is, Google him. He's an amazing voice actor, did a bunch of Disney stuff. I have to give it props for that. I love Jim Cummings. He's great. He's always a pleasure to hear. So now, should you buy it, play it?
I'll man the wall.
Well, first of all, the game's free to play, so you really have nothing to lose to try it. However, if you were like me, I was really tired of the Hearthstone meta, which got pretty stale for a while. I think a lot of people will like Elder Scrolls Legends, mainly due to the fact that the game is not a clone of Hearthstone, and the gameplay elements are different enough to have it stand out of its shadow. Yes, getting started from nothing can be a bit of a drag, but this holds true to almost all free-to-play games when you first start out. If you're looking for a card game that stands out from the others, give Elder Scrolls Legends a try. For more videos like this and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on shacknews.com.